Welcome back to Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Status Non-Classic. This is episode number 653 and Doubleshot number 753 and Doubleshot 657. Okay, two X-Force trades. First up, it's something from the second X-Force series featuring this lineup. This is Uncanny X-Force Volume 2, Deathlok Nation. Collecting Uncanny X-Force 5 through 7 and 5.1. Written by Recommender, artwork by Essa Rubik and Ralphie Albuquerque. Now, there are two stories in here. First, of course, let's talk about the 5.1 issue, which is X-Force versus Lady Deathstrike and the Ravers. And I forgot to mention this in my review for Secret Avengers, but for some reason, the artist who did work with Recommender insisted putting Lady Deathstrike in her classic look, despite the fact that in other books she doesn't wear. She's not in this look at all. She's actually in the X2 look. Yeah, but it's an interesting little story. And then of course we have Deathlok Nation, which is the first appearance of the character Father, who later became a villain for Secret Avengers. Because, well, that's the thing with Recommender. He has a villain appear in one arc in one series he's writing, and then he brings him back for another book. And he appeared in two story arcs in that book. He appeared in his first arc he did for the book, and the third arc he did, which was the last one he did for the book. And then his last known appearance was actually in Avengers Rage of Ultron. He came back in that one as well. And in the case of Deathlok Nation, which, by the way, this also introduced a new Deathlok. This is by far the fourth Deathlok introduced in the Marvel Universe. Yep. The first one, of course, was Luther. I think his name was Luther Manning. That was the original one. The second one was Michael Collins, who's the most recognizable one. Yeah, he had the first two volumes of Deathlok comic book. Yep. Yeah, and this guy is the fourth Deathlok. The one that appeared in Nathaniel Empress's run. That's the fifth Deathlok. Yep. Yeah, this Deathlok is just a variant of Luther Manning. Yeah, but at least I'm glad that Wolverine remembers that. Yeah, I know who Deathlok is. Here he is. This is the new Deathlok. Yeah, Recommender created this version, and I gotta praise Jason Aaron for making him a recurring character in the pages of Wolverine the X-Men. Now, he comes from a timeline where apparently Father killed the Earth's mightiest heroes and turned them into Deathloks. And of course, Wolverine has to fight them all and try to prevent this from happening. Yep, that's simply what the story is. Of course, the next arc that comes right after this is Dark Angel Saga. Yep. I gotta say, a quick little three-parter is actually quite nice, but man, this trade is so thin. Unlike the first trade, which collected like 4 issues, this one contains 3. That's the thing I don't like about these particular kind of X-Force trades. They're really short. Unlike the regular X-Force trades, a little bit longer than that. But this is actually pretty good. I'm gonna give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Really good. Next up is X-Force Volume 2, Old Ghosts. Collecting issues X-Force Volume 3, issues 7 through 11, written by Craig Cow and Chris Yost. Artwork by Mike Judy, Alina Roosevelt, and Clayton Coren. Yeah, with this one, there's a couple different stories with this one. One is the Old Ghost story, which has... Now, I should point out the lineup for this group at the time prior to this arc was basically Wolverine, X-23, Angel, Wolfsbane, and Elixir. Yeah, this is the lineup for this run. And then with this arc, we had Domino. Why not? She's heavily associated with X-Force anyways. And the Vanisher, which is actually a surprise. I looked him up basically prior to this. His last appearance was back during Joe Kelly's run for Uncanny X-Men. Back in 2002. This came out in 2008. So basically his first appearance in 6 years. Well, apparently he got his hands on a sample of the Legacy virus. Yeah, something that basically Marvel ended that plot thread in 2000. Yeah, the Legacy virus was when people were cured of it. Yeah, but they mentioned Mr. Sinister, and one thing you gotta appreciate about this particular arc, it's also Lucida for Neurosha. Yep, it's Lucida for that one as well. We also had the introduction to Eli Bard, who shows up in this run as well. Yeah. We also have stuff related to S.H.I.E.L.D. and of course later on Hammer. But seeing Return to Vanisher is quite interesting, and especially you gotta love his new look. Yep, gone is the goofy look from the 60s. Yeah, and that's simply what this arc is. They fight him. They basically force him to join the team after basically Elixir creates a brain tumor for him. And of course they fight a bunch of goons, clones, and of course we also see in the storyline the return of we also have appearance by the Ghost Rider, who teams up with Warpath. Yeah, he's part of this lineup too, where he takes on the Demon Bear. Yeah, the Demon Bear from New Mutants. Yep, surprised to take on him. Ghost Rider, I think it's interesting that he shows up in here. I mean, why not? And Chris Clayton, Clayton Cran basically would later draw this guy 2 years later in the Ghost Rider one-shot for Shadowland, which is amazing how he draws them in here. And I gotta say, this arc is actually really, really good. Yeah, I'm trying to think, there was anything else big would happen in this run aside from the Vanisher. Well, let's see here. They fight a bunch of clones and the Marauders. Apparently, they're the ones responsible for a lot of the stuff happens in here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, we also see in this arc the return of Cameron Hydes and Graydon Creed. Yeah, the whole point of these two set up in here. Yeah, it's basically a plot thread that we set up. That's actually set up for a second coming. That comes in 2 years. That's one thing I appreciate about the X book. They set up 2 major story arcs in this book right here. Not in the case of the other books though, but yeah. We also see this character here. His name is Heimerth, who is no lover of Wolfsbane, who apparently can transform the wolf form. Yeah, we find out about that later. And issue 10 basically ends with the title of the title of next issue. Who the hell is Eli Bard? Yeah, it explains his backstory, where he was no Roman citizen, and of course he also met Selene, and Vanisher's like, who is Selene? Now, I'm thinking though about that. I'm not surprised he doesn't know who Selene is, because, well, half the time Marvel doesn't use the character anyways. The character popped up is a very rare character pops up. Those of you curious though about when he first showed up in the comic books, it was back in Uncanny X-Men #2 from 1963. Yeah, he's a creation of Jack the King Kirby and Stan the Man Lee. Yeah, and he was also the first teleporter in Marvel Comics. Yeah, he's got the same power as Nightcrawler. As far as I know, him and Nightcrawler have never met. Nope. Yeah. I'm a little surprised that they decided to bring him in this book. And he was basically part of this lineup up until Second Coming. Yeah, from this point forward, up until the end for the next 2 years, he's part of this book. Yep. Of course, they'll think about Lex not becoming a villain. But I like the fact that Chris Yost and Craig Cowell digs up some old stuff from the past, like the Vanisher. Bringing Domino was a nice touch, because after all, she was part of Cable's X-Force. So, why not part of this X-Force too, which makes her probably one of 2 people I can think of. Actually, one of 3 people was part of the original X-Force and this one. Yeah, Cable's part of this group, along with Doug Ramsey. Yeah, Doug Ramsey comes back in the next book. I'll talk about that in 2 episodes from now. But yeah, this is fantastic. I'm going to give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Now, as far as I can tell, volumes-wise for this volume for X-Force, there's like 3 volumes altogether, but also 2 crossover trades. There's Messiah War, which actually comes not long after this, and the Rosha and Second Coming. Yep. But yeah, there are only 3 volumes of this. Yep, only 3. Surprise. I thought there was 4, but there's only 3. The next one I have is actually the last one, because next 2 trades after that 3rd volume, 2 crossover trades. Yep. Otherwise, though, that's really it. Stay tuned for next episode, which I'm going to review my last 2 live books I have. Which one is a finale for a trade series. The other, of course, is another volume for another trade series I review. But you find what they are in the next episode, okay? But to see you there. Bye.